Only one team has conceded more than 20 goals after 7 rounds of the Premier League, and that's Wolverhampton. They occupy last position with 0 wins, 1 draw, 6 defeats, conceding a total of 21 goals overall, which is the worst record of any team. I decided to watch all the games so far and find out why they have the worst defense in the Premier League. And it is no coincidence that they lost so many goals, because they make a lot of mistakes and they are repeated in almost every match. So I have broken them down into 5 sections. The first is man marking. This problem is mostly related to central defenders. In the game against Arsenal, when Saka had the ball, there was 2.5 meters between Totti and Havertz in the penalty box, which isn't wrong, but when Saka has an intention to cross, it's definitely too much, because Totti is unable to stop Havertz. The same against Liverpool, when Konate, positioned 2 and 4 meters away from Dawson, had space to run behind him when the cross was flying. Dawson doesn't control where Konate is, he just concentrates on the ball and doesn't see where is the real threat. It's not only the central defenders who have a problem with this, it seems to be a general issue within the team. They are not taking responsibility for the part of the pitch and the players on it. The opposition strikers in the Wolverhampton games can feel like a free bird, nobody cares about them, they run around all game without any attention. Here we can see Palmer, who is in the square of 4 Wolverhampton defenders, and even in that situation the ball came to him. And here is a great example of how to cover in the penalty area. Saliba and Alan fight for the position, and take a look how Saliba is stick to Haaland. Controls him with his hands, prevent from taking a good shot. The second problem is set pieces. Wolverhampton in the 7 games have conceded 3 goals directly from a corner kick. And it's hard to believe, but these goals are almost the same. There is an unmarked player on the far post and the ball always goes to him. Here we can see examples from other games. It looked like copy and paste, cause 3 times the player near to the far post scores a goal. And I understand that it can happen 1 or 2 times and next time they make an analysis and draw a conclusion, but apparently not in the Wolverhampton team. Let's move on to the third problem, the hole in the middle. A good example we can see against Chelsea goal at 4-2, look at the space in the middle. 5 players around, none of them want to cover Caicedo, the midfielder goes up too late and it creates another gap next to Palmer and Chelsea score a goal. Here is another huge hole and Partey alone, no one wants to come, so it was easy for Arsenal to come out under the pressure and make a progress. It was similar story against Newcastle, both the central backs and midfielder don't come through, so Isak got the ball and created a good chance. These gaps are the result of poor positioning, lack of hint from the defenders who have a much better overview of the pitch, and lack of observation. This could be seen against Arsenal when they overloaded one side with 5 players versus 4 Arsenal players, creating space on the other side and allowed to make a shot. Another problem I called running midfielders into the third zone. So as we have noted, Wolverhampton have a massive issue with marking players, but they are completely lost when the opposition midfielders run into the third zone from the side or from the center. They lost 3 goals that way, one against Chelsea when Neto rushed down the left and no midfielder wanted to accompany him, another against Aston Villa, there was no assist from any midfielder, and another against Brentford, which clearly shows no responsibility in the defenders and the lack of agreement on who is covering who and who is taking over who. Next clip also present no support from other players in Wolverhampton team, making it easy for the opposition team to gain a numerical advantage. The last is the organization of the game. When the team has to rebuild the defense, reposition themselves on the pitch or get behind someone in defense, this causes a huge problem for Wolverhampton defenders. Here is a Chelsea free kick and 4 passing options, all players uncovered. Wolverhampton midfielder are not interested in marking players, finally leading to a Chelsea goal. They have conceded 2 goals with Chelsea due to lack of tactical discipline. Going back in their own half took them so much time and result in a 2-1 advantage. These organization mistakes are made in every game. Look at how much time and distance he has to receive the ball and make a pass into the penalty area where none of the players went higher to press. Or in the match against Aston Villa where a quick play from a free kick leads to a complete disorganization in defense. I'm a bit surprised because all the mistakes are repetitive and happen in almost every game. I don't see any progress in defense, especially in the last game before the international break, which they lost 5-3. The only positive thing is that they look pretty good in attack, scoring 9 goals. That puts them in 11th in the Premier League. As we move smoothly into the attack, if you want to find out what moves striker makes in the penalty area and what makes them score goals, you can watch my video here or check out the channel for more analysis.